I'll tell you what, the AFL has to act. What is my first crack? It's the Showgrounds showdown today. The clash of the coaches between Craig McRae and Adam Kingsley, of course, in GWS's 52-point win. Now, I don't have to remind you about the $20,000 fine for Port Adelaide's Ken Hinkley last year. Chris Scott got a $10,000 fine. We know Alistair Clarkson sanctioned for his clash in that game against St Kilda as well. Well, why wouldn't there be some sort of censure or sanction or suspended fine for Craig McRae over this? Now, have a look at Nick Dacos and Toby Bedford come from the ground. Of course, Bedford been tagging Nick Dacos all day. There's a bit of a brouhaha going on there. Now, as Bedford comes to the ground, look at Craig McRae here, barking at him, right? Taking the mickey out of him, that's once. He goes again back to Bedford. Now, here's Clint Eastwood. That's Adam Kingsley over there, strolling into town. You sit down, old mate, and he is protecting his players. So that is a quick exchange, but there is, make no mistake, Adam Kingsley is not mucking around there, because we heard from the AFL, the legal counsel, Stephen Mead, last year, after the Kingsley Hinkley situation, and the statement is here: we don't want to see opposition coaches engage in inappropriate activity or sledging communication with opposition players and coaches. Not only has it got the potential to escalate, it's a shocking example for the lower level, and they said at the time they were very disappointed in Ken Hinkley. Now, I know that's probably on the lighter end, clearly, with Craig McRae, but if the AFL is going to be consistent, why is there not some sort of sanction or not suspension, but some sort of fine? They will be on the phone, Laura Kane and Andrew Dillon, to Craig McRae tomorrow. Do you agree, or is this a mountain out of a molehill?
I think it's a great opportunity for them to stamp it right now, because we've seen in the past when AFL haven't acted on things straight away and it becomes a bigger issue and they've had the chance. So maybe it is an opportunity. I don't think it's a massive issue. It wasn't probably, didn't seem too threatening. Adam Kingsley obviously didn't like it, but still probably enough. And for me, it has become more prevalent in recent years because we are seeing a lot more coaches sit on the bench and they can interact with opposition players a lot more. So I think it is something they need to address, the AFL, and this could be the one and only chance that coaches get to get caught up in this, because you're right, if it had escalated, no doubt there would have been a sanction. So maybe you just eliminate that risk and do something about it right now.
I think your lower level football discussion's a ripper, because this is something you absolutely cannot have when it's unregulated at lower levels, really. There isn't the common sense approach at times when things bubble like this. I'll tell you what, Craig sat down pretty quick. He said, sit down, mate. You've had your go, you've had enough, sit down. And he did. So I don't know if there's a lot in it. I'm leaning towards a phone call, maybe a please explain. I'm not interested in big fines for that. There's not enough there for me to say that had the potential.
But put the other coaches on notice and say...
they tend not to do that.
Yeah, okay.
They tend not to do that.
You go to a junior football game, what are the signs you see? It says, don't be that parent. Well, maybe the AFL has to say, don't be that coach. Okay. Don't engage that way, because you can intimidate younger players in that sort of situation. Now, the press conferences, of course, were very interesting. Let's first hear from Collingwood coach Craig McRae.
On the bench, can you explain a bit what happened?
I was having a bit of fun with King. He's an old mate of mine. I was just stirring up and said we're coming, and he just had a bit of fun. He's a bit fiery than me. I'm a bit more humorous. If you want to make it a story, it's not the story. But
are you a bit worried now that obviously we saw what happened with Ken in that final against, but that's something that could be looked at?
Honestly, we're old colleagues, and I was just having a bit of fun with him. If it's more than that, we shake hands at the end of the game, and I said, yeah, we'll see you next time we play.
I don't know that it was a whole lot of fun. I still saw the crazy eyes from Adam Kingsley, interviewed him this week, and he talked about how direct and straight and blunt he likes to be. And he hit fly between the eyes.
So was Craig talking to Adam Kingsley, or was he talking to Toby Bedford? Because he was almost implying then that he was having a bit of fun with Adam Kingsley.
Well, I think Adam Kingsley put him back in his box pretty quickly.
He didn't say too much when he said sit down.
Yeah. Adam Kingsley kept walking towards...
Craig McRae backed down pretty quickly, didn't he, when big Adam Kingsley flexed those biceps and walked at him.
So do you think a suspended fine?
Yeah, I think that would be fair. I think that would be thousands of dollars. I mean, we've seen Fly react really emotionally on the bench over several seasons. You know, the electric finishes, the goals from the boundary line. He says we want to celebrate those moments. But equally, I don't think that the emotion should get to him in a way that he's then going at opposition players. I think his focus should be on field and his own team. I'll be shocked if Andrew Dillon isn't saying that exact thing down the phone to him. Adam Kingsley, the GWS coach, he was up next and he also tried to play it down.
I don't know if it was that confrontational. I mean, we were just having a chat about the game in general. He's a good man, Fly. He's a really good man. He's a good mate of mine. So we're just having a discussion.
That's the coach's code in action there, aren't they? They're looking after each other.
Listen, that's the longest first crack we've ever had.
Yeah, good start,
Give
Jason.
someone else the ball.
I have taken a long time. My apologies. Right,